All right, so here's the thing.
He's Khan.
Black Cyclops. I believe what they're meant is that they indicate a secret that you hold subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Dual Destinies with spoilers. With Athena's Cyclops, she is repressing a memory subconsciously, so she cannot reveal the secret. Additionally, but I believe Pearl says it in that game, if you forcibly break a Black Cyclops, it causes irreparable mental damage to the person who has the Cyclops broken.
You're basically like mentally scarring them as you're like forcing PT. I don't know. You're kind of like forcing PTSD.
So with Gavin, he has the Black Cyclops when you ask him about why he kills Zach Gramere. The reason he kills Zach Gramere is just that he's a petty, egotistical bitch.
Yeah.
That is the secret that he is keeping from himself. He does not want to acknowledge that because that would debase his view of himself, which is perfect, untouchable, great
that's
man.
That's actually pretty smart. I like that a lot, actually. Wait, I mean, I agree with the whole, he views himself so highly that he can't see himself being wrong. Just the entire reason he goes on this little fucking rampage.
This ties into later with his breakdown. We see his breakdown, and it's extreme, and it goes hard. Because we're forcibly proving that Christoph Gavin is a petty, egotistical bitch.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any grand motive or any great reason. It was just, he's a little fucking punk bitch. And that damages his perception of himself. He cannot admit to himself, but it's proven to him when his fate is placed not in his hands. He doesn't get to say his smooth talking to the judge or the prosecutor. It's the people who have to decide. And the people have always been the ones who have been able to tell that he's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's Vera, Phoenix, Apollo. Eventually, they all realize that he sucks. All the people that he killed too.
That's kind of why I actually really like the second part of the case. At least the part where, like, the irony of the average people who he like despises so much, proving him wrong, because he sees himself and like the judge.
He sees himself as perfect.
Yeah. It's not even just himself.
He's the man who's above it all, and it is the people below him, the quote unquote, that now hold his fate, and he can't take that.
This might be like a bad comparison, but I mean, this is kind of I can kind of draw some parallels to how Dahlia kind of views how everything is like brought upon her, like how she like thinks of herself so highly, but like really like
take
she's
any
never
responsibility for wrongdoing.
Yeah, and then really like
she's from the trilogy.
Yeah,
she's from Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah,
all right.
The third game, she's the redhead.
All right, we'll get there eventually.
Wait, should we not?
But
I don't care about spoilers.
But yeah, like it's in keeping with how Black Cyclops are depicted in Dual Destinies.
No, actually, I like how you put it a lot.
I'll contend that actually makes sense to me.
It's unfortunate that you have to play Dual Destinies to understand the ending of Apollo Justice.
It's not even just that.
I agree. It's unfortunate that you have to play that game.
But it also feels like they're like building off of what they did with Gavin. It was like, we gotta explain that shit. Explain it in Dual Destinies real quick.
I feel like it's just them looking back like
real fast for the people who paid attention.
To be honest, it doesn't seem like intentional making it work because it's not really used the same way it is with Athena. It works out, but I wouldn't go as far as say it was their intention. And it's still bad writing within Apollo Justice because they didn't know there'd be a future game to explain it. And they shouldn't need a future game to explain it.
No.
My connection was being weird. I missed what you said, I think.
He said you were wrong and to go fuck yourself.
What did you say, Joseph?
What I said was, I contend it makes sense. I wouldn't go so far as say it was intended to fix Apollo Justice because it feels like the way they're used in the two games is different. Whereas Athena, it's like more of a particular.
They are different like situations.
So, I contend it works
obviously.
out, but I don't know if I'd go so far as saying it's intentional just because of kind of how different it is. But more.
I mean, the fact that they used the same Psyche, like they could have gone so far as to just make a different fucking color Psyche-Lock. And
Yeah.
like, boom, Athena's got a fucking yellow Psyche-Lock. Boom. But they use the same ones, so obviously they want to draw some kind of connection between the two.
Right.
So it is presumably a similar situation of why the Psyche-Lock appears.
But even if it was like Dual Destinies trying to like fix it and make it make sense, it doesn't justify how Apologists used them in the story, where it's nothing. You don't get any resolution within the game itself.
I think I can agree with that, I guess, to an extent. With like, obviously, if you haven't played Dual Destinies, you don't know what's happening. It makes no sense. But having been witness to Dual Destinies, I am aware of what the Black Psyche-Lock means.
It's retroactive fixing, which
I feel like that was intentional, that they wanted to fix the ending of Apollo Justice.
Yeah, it's a good retroactive fix. It doesn't justify the problem existing to begin with, though.
That's correct. Yeah, true.
The
problem was there, but they fixed it. I think, in my opinion, they fixed it. So.
And it's also not the same, since it's retroactive. It's not the same as like needing supplemental material, such as like needing the first and second game to play the third game. It's you have no reason to play Dual Destinies before Apollo Justice, and you're expected to enjoy Apollo Justice before you play Dual Destinies and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I definitely have some thoughts on this, and like just basically Dual Destiny sucks. But I do have work tomorrow morning, so
yeah, we'll talk about Dual Destinies and whatnot another time.
Yeah.
Okay, bye Tom. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.